Hello, YouTube. I'm just here with an update on the compass form. You probably saw that I did an in-between form where I just did some search farming. We did about 100 maps of search, dropped 2 blueprints for Lone Walkers and 1 for Eternity, at which point I decided to do some more compass farming again. And I'll eventually swap back to Dog Search, just alternating between the two to spice things out. But on this compass form, what I did do is I ran it back, the 15 maps on compass farming, but with the caveat that I don't do any Overrealm in between. So the only pets that I would have used in this form would have been my Dorothy, level 6, and my Alice, level 6. No Overrealm level 6 at all to skew the odds. And, well, we kind of found out what I was suspecting in the first video, that not bothering with the Overrealm and just skipping entirely and focusing on compasses is actually more FE per hour than doing the Overrealm, even with level 6 pads. So in this form, we did have a very interesting draw, which we didn't have last time. We had 2 cage gold compasses drop. In the previous form, we had 0 drop. So I do account for the profit with and without this when doing the comparison. But even considering that, I ended up coming out to 4,586 FE per hour profit, including the gold cage compass drops, because you are suspected to drop some of them, but it is very RNG for them to drop. And if we were to completely exclude those, it would only be 3,767 FE per hour, which, if you watch my previous video, that is obviously a lot more than the previous video. You know, the previous video, we were like just about averaging 3,000 an hour. Now, I will say one thing. My build from then versus now is a lot stronger. I am now utilizing an Eternity, and I just, in general, am quite fast. I, however, do think that, you know, as fun as Overrealm is, it is probably not worth doing if you're doing compass farming, because compass farming is just probably the best form in the game, or one of the best forms in the game, where like anything that just takes away from your compasses per hour is actually a FE per hour loss, unfortunately. Another thing worth noting is that the cost of the maps have gone down. So if I can quickly pull up my previous video on the compass form, those 15 maps cost me, where is that? Those 50 maps cost me 3,440 FE. And essentially all of that cost is in the fact that the deep space beacons price plummeted and the purple compass price plummeted. So instead of spending 64.6 FE, 68.8 FE per map, I was only spending 64. That's only a 200 FE difference. Not a big deal, but it is nice to know the farm is going down in price. And in that video, I did actually have more money from compasses than I did in this one. In this one, we came just short, you know, quite a bit shorter. And that is obviously due to the fact that when you do Overrealm does drop a fair bit of compasses and whatnot. And of course, we had significantly less raw FE and commodity stuff, because Overrealm is, you know, printing us a lot of raw FE, a lot of commodities and whatnot. But again, that was me assuming this was 5 minutes per map. I was doing it faster than 5 minutes per map. On this one, I'm assuming an hour and 30 of mapping. I personally am doing it a lot faster than that. In my test, I came out to an hour 23, but, you know, this is a test of me, you know, chatting with my chat, you know, not hyper-focusing or anything, like just playing slow. And I was still, you know, 7 minutes faster than what I assumed here. With my actual playtime, it was closer to 5,000 FE per hour. And again, that's assuming, you know, lucky drops. I am thinking of maybe redoing this test another time to have a fair comparison with, like, you know, the fact that I've upgraded my build, made my character even stronger since the previous one. But a thing that I'm more interested in, because I don't really think the result's going to change, I think just on a vibe, I can feel that this is better. The thing that I would really be interested in is actually speccing on no one knocks. And only doing Overrealm when we get the 32% additional drop quantity. And seeing how that compares, where it's like a kind of a mix and match between doing Overrealm and not doing it. Because the big problem that I have with Overrealm is when it hits, it hits really hard and it feels good. But you have so many runs in between it hitting, but just are always a skip. And I was wondering, like, maybe if you just go in, see what compass you get, or see what node you get, and if it's not a rainbow, or at least red iffy, you just leave instantly. Like, after the first floor, you get your thing, you go next floor, and just end it immediately. You don't even bother seeing how many floors it goes or anything like that. I think some sort of hybrid between that could actually be the most optimal, most efficient way to go about it. But yeah, there's definitely some interesting testing you can do. Doing it without Overrealm is kind of a vibe for me, because I can kind of just, chat to people. Whenever you go on Overrealm, you reset your eternity stacks. That fucking sucks dick. I don't like that at all. You just get a big vibe. You just stack up your eternity and just blast the map in a minute. Spend more time looting the map than actually clearing the map. And then you go next map. But yeah, I did promise in the previous video that if I test it without Overrealm and it does come out as being better, I would make another update video about it. So that is essentially what this video is. Now, doing these map tests, I have run the exact same strat as before, where I run, all three compasses, Ecliptic, Ascendant, and Vol Ecliptic, or Vast Ecliptic, as well as Golden Cogs. And I used this for my mapping setup. So I had Dorothy 6 for my mapping setup, Kong 6, just in case I dropped cards. In this mapping set, we did not get any lucky card drops, no immolating flames or anything. And then Searching Gold, because, it's whatever the third pet, just use an FE pet. I would use Alice 6 for starting the Cogs gameplay. And I would swap to Dorothy 6 with full compasses whenever turning in. So at the very end of the map, you just swap to your Dorothy. I use a hotkey for it. You click the podium, and then compasses pop out, and hopefully you should have loved compasses and whatnot. Another interesting thing that I want to talk about, if you're like doing this on a lower investment or whatnot, I do think there's value in doing this strat on like a lower investment, like doing it on, Profound, for example. And instead of running the Golden Clockwork, which is going to cost you 30 FE per, just running the purple one, which is going to cost you only 1 FE per, and instead of 600% chance for Cogs, you have 200%, which that's still good. You'll still get quite a bit of a Cogs. But then another thing that you might want to drop then is the Ascendant Ecliptic, because actually someone went ahead and did the math on this, and this only breaks even if you drop 22.6 compasses per map. But then you also consider that 22.6 compasses per map is taking away a compass slot, as well as it's going to be taxed on selling compasses. So ideally, you would only use this if you're dropping like more than 30 compasses on average per map. And if you're not doing that, this is quite an expensive compass. I think there's a lot of, you can definitely like justify dropping this entirely and just running something else, like running double compass, running purple Cogs, and then I don't know, something like Sandlord maybe, just to like get your Sandlord up and running. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it from YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's a very, very short video, but I felt like I had to make an update on this because I don't know, how am I gonna keep this to myself? I calculated out of my own farm time, and it was 4.9k FE per hour. And like, this wasn't a particularly insane or crazy run. The only thing that was insane was dropping 2 gold compasses. But everything else that I dropped, like, I didn't have any good rainbows or anything like that. I only dropped 9 Sinful, which is like below average. Normally you drop more Sinfuls. Dropped 38 of the purple one though, which is pretty good. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. I hope you all have a lovely day further. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the shorts content. We've been trying a lot harder to, make some good shorts and whatnot for people. Bye, YouTube! Bye-bye! Bye, YouTube! Bye! Meow.